Good morning, everybody. Peter Ciccone, another installment of EAA Diner Discussions, and I am here with the king of networking, the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only David Gussin, Mr. 516 Ads, Mr. Long Island. 16-year anniversary coming up, business networking on Long Island. Talk, man. How do you do it?
First of all, good morning, Pete.
Good morning, sir. Welcome. I mean, you were the first installment ever, and but now you're here after 16 years in business.
Yeah, no, you're too kind to me, buddy. By the way, there is some guy who is Mr. Long Island. It's not me. So whoever
This
it
is the guy.
props to Mr. Long Island. I don't want to take any credit that doesn't belong to us. But yeah, 16 years ago, one logo saying coming soon. And man, 516 ads, 631 ads. It's really a nice idea, not just for Long Island, for any community. The business community comes together, sort of like says we could build our own network. Hence the name 516 ads, 631 ads, the area codes of the neighborhood, all the area codes in New York. But we could build our own network, ignite business. And use our platforms to spread positive instead of negative. And hopefully that's what we've done.
Hopefully, I mean, I think 16 years in business, you know, you are a legend in the networking world. Everybody, if you've done networking on Long Island, you've heard of David Gussin. Most have met you. What drives you? How do you do it? And what's your philosophy behind building a business network?
What drives me is easy. It's a nice thing, helping people with their businesses and stuff. You know, that's important. I don't know, I've been interviewed a lot lately. The first thing is like where it stemmed from. It really stemmed from creating a platform to spread positive in this world. And opposite to the negative media. You know, if it bleeds, it leads, and hate makes headlines. Well, you can't build a good newspaper, but if you can help businesses get their name out there and make it a fair price and everyone can participate, you can use your platforms to spread positive instead of negative. And man, that's a nice combination of business. And actually it goes against, there was always that saying, nice guys finish last. And that's a horrible expression, officers. Nice guys finish last. Well, that would be a terrible thing for a generation. You can't be a nice guy. But imagine if you can ignite business, everyone. There's thousands of us. And then use it to collect socks, collect shoes, collect money, collect arts and crafts, all the many different things.
Help people out in
community-oriented stuff.
And build the business community. Have a network of people who want to participate, who are using their strength. I mean, and then the last 2 or 3 years, we've built a cadre of diners who now want us to do the diner discussions in their diner so they can be a part of it. And we have our handful where they have the back room and it's quiet and you know, we look for certain things now, but we're at that point where we can kind of pick and choose, and it's always a handful of 2 or 3 places, and they're struggling. And they see us as a line of help. They see you. They're like, oh, these guys are coming, and the people will follow. So, you know, but the hate makes headlines. You've been saying that for 16 years, and you're driven by the opposite. You want to spread positivity in the world.
We have to explain, at least to the audience, where that would come from a little bit.
Sure.
I'm 58 years old now. I forgot my first marketing claim to fame. Let's go to the one where it came from. Watching the Sally Jesse Raphael show, there were skinheads on. The skinheads were making audience members cry. I was like, and this is in the 80s, so the 1980s, the late 1980s, so already we're talking about 30-something years ago. I was like, these people are idiots, learn. And I imagine people screaming learn at these people on TV. And remember, they were skinheads, KKK types at the time, the thing that was most fear type of, at least that hate type of thing, learn. So let's end all racism now.
There you go, learn. Let's end all
racism now. Man, that's a great message. We made it red, white, and blue because this is America, the one country in the world where people from all over the world come to make a better life for themselves. We made the word racism go into a broken heart because you ask a lot of people, but racism unfortunately causes a broken heart hovering over society.
Amen.
This message ended up in every New York City public school. I even wrote a learn rap song. You see, it makes no difference what race you are. It makes no difference who you are. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor. Just do it. Speak up and learn. Let's end all racism now. Spread the word. Now that was meant to be a hit.
That was meant to be a hit.
And 1 million school children participated in it.
1 million?
Yeah, because it was in the New York
Wow.
City public schools
Okay.
from kindergarten through high school. And what it was it was an oratory contest. What would you do to end racism? And it wasn't a writing contest or arts and crafts, which it could be. Learn is very versatile.
Yeah,
And I even took my dad with me
There you go.
to the ceremony. And a little 5-year-old boy was there, and his thing was, he was the youngest one. What would you do to end racism? And like Alexander Graham Bell, he was like, just say hello. But my point is, it was a beautiful message for children. It's still a beautiful message. It will always be a beautiful message. But the media ignored us. And we were like, man, 2 people get into a fight to be on the front page. But here's this beautiful message. 1 million children participate. No one writes about it. We're going to create our own media. Hence 516 ads and 631 ads.
All right. And but your bigger claim to fame?
The everything bagel.
The everything bagel. If you've had an everything bagel, that's the guy who came up with it. You can Google everything bagel. You will get Dave Gussin's name. Happened in, I'm going to tell the story, Howard Beach, Queens, where he lived. He was a teenager working in a bagel shop. He used to sweep out the seeds from the oven, and he made himself a bagel, and he used to do it for himself.
Well, a little lost. Swept out perfect till the seeds. Swept them in a bin. Next day, Charlie, my boss, I was 15, 16 years old. I swept the seeds in a bin.
Right.
The well-done ones, that makes it different. The well-done one tasted better. Charlie makes some bagels with these. We'll call it the everything bagel. And now it is marketing history. I must say, recently, someone came up with a print. I want to see it with my own eyes, that the language was actually, I'm very fair. And for years, I was always told that this is like everything bagel history taking place right in front of us now. I was told for years the first time it was ever in print was in 1988.
Okay.
But recently, someone came up with it. I'd like to see that it's true, that they're saying they saw it in print before. But if you look it up, they still my story still stays the same.
About around 1980.
Well, 79, 80.
79, 80, which would put it in the right.
That's my story of the everything bagel.
And I think
I'll
I
stick
saw
with
it in print
I'll stick
on
with it
menus.
forever.
I think I saw it in print on menus before 1988 because I was.
Before 88.
Yeah.
No, on menus. They said in 88 it was the first time it was written in the newspaper.
Oh.
Where it was like, special everything bagel.
Yeah, okay.
And the historians reach out to me. But let's get back to igniting some business and goodness speaking up.
All right. And there you go. This is a marketing genius, 16 years strong. And I think you're busier today than you ever have been.
Yeah, a lot of entrepreneurs out there. And by the way, I never think I do a good enough job. When you're trying to help people's businesses, I work from fear.
Okay.
I work from thinking I always have to do better. But
Fear
to
is a
help
better
entrepreneurs, I'm a big fan of entrepreneurs, and I'll tell you why, my buddy. I will tell you why in today's world. Ingenuity, working, hard work, ingenuity. The idea, we were told as little boys, I bet you were told too, you could do anything you put your mind to.
Sure.
I feel like that kind of spirit and that kind of attitude has been dampened the last few years. Almost
tamped down.
they almost like try to put the brakes on it. Shockingly, there were even times where political figures almost seemed to be against the hard-working business community, like they separated them into sides. And there are no sides, ladies and gentlemen. The sides are wonderful human beings working together, because they almost made it like people who were teachers and those type of workers aren't the same as entrepreneurs. What those politicians don't know is those teachers, those firefighters, those police officers retire, and then they get their second careers as entrepreneurs. So we all work together with good spirits and good attitudes, and I want to build upon that.
And again, I think you're being too kind to the politicians, but that's a different issue for a different day.
I always tell you how nice you are, but when it comes to diplomacy with them, a smidgen more diplomacy. But actually, any politician, in some ways they owe society an apology, because even if they're so wonderful, they should see the chaos that seems to be caused to regular citizens who are working and just almost like be sorry to be a part of that. Man, we got to rebuild that trust, don't we?
I'm with you. Rebuild the spirit of entrepreneurism.
Good word, rebuild the spirit.
And reinvigorate, across the country. And that's why we then started Entrepreneurs Across America. That was his brainchild. And that takes
I like the name, Entrepreneurs Across America.
I love the name.
Entrepreneurs across America.
And that's what it is, and that's to take the 516 spirit and go nationwide and compete with some of the big boys that are out there and the big groups that we run against, and we have them here on Long Island and in New York, but we're coming.
Yeah, the groups are great. Props to anyone who ignites business. People tell us we have our own style, and they like. We're also open to all, but for all different kinds of networking. If you're not familiar, there's even these one per industry. But we've always been open to all. We weren't trying to get into networking. We were trying to build a resource. In this case, a region. In this case, Long Island, but a resource that once again helps businesses, but spread positive in the community and all that goes with that. It's amazing what happens when good people come together. From people getting lungs to 16,000 socks being collected to
shoes being collected to
everything.
Money
It happens
being raised
all the time.
All the time, and people aren't shy about asking for help because they know they get it. 516ads.com. Thank you for coming down.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. Congratulations on 16 years strong.
No, thank you. And everyone get out there and make things happen. You could do it. The playing field has been leveled, and anyone could go out there and make things happen. A lot of doubt in this world. Don't let doubt stop you from getting out there.
Ignite business.
Ignite some business.